Welcome back to Palm Springs, California here at Bamma USA. You have gotten your just desserts if you're a fight fan, and now the cherry on top.
This is the cherry on top. This is the dessert. This is the steak of the meal, the main event coming up now.
Here at our main event, Dominic Waters out first, 6 feet 1 inches tall, weighed in at 168 pounds, 3-0, all wins by KO.
And his opponent in the red corner, Rigoberto Oropeza, Technique Training Center, 6 feet tall, 170 pounds, excuse me. 5 wins, 1 loss, 2 submissions, 2 knockouts.
See how they size up here on the tail of the tape. Both came in similar in weight. Height difference only 1 inch. Not a big difference in experience. However, Dominic showed up Waters undefeated.
Let's take it to the cage to kick off our main event of the evening.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's a freestyle fighter. He stands at 6 foot 1 inch tall. He weighed in at 168 pounds. His record, 3 wins, no losses. All 3 wins coming by way of knockout. From the 29 Palms Marine Corps Fight Club, let's hear it for Dominic Waters. And his opponent out of the red corner. He's a jiu-jitsu fighter. He stands 6 foot tall. Weighed in at 169 pounds. His record, 5 wins, 1 loss. 2 wins by knockout and 2 by submission. From the Technique Training Center in Indio, California, let's give it up for Rigberto Oropeza.
Getting ready for 3 5-minute rounds at the welterweight class, 170 pounds. Rigoberto Oropeza in the red tape gloves, and in the blue tape gloves, Dominic Show Enough Waters.
Show enough he is. Waters getting off here, starting aggressive, pushing Oropeza up against the cage.
Oropeza lands a left hand in return right there. Sometimes when you get hit, that's when you decide to shoot, and that's what Waters did. He got that left hook, and he shot right in for the takedown.
Yeah, good finish right there. Oropeza sprawled out on that double leg takedown by Waters. Waters kept on it, kept relentless on it, and he was rewarded with a takedown. He's now on top in the full guard of Rigoberto Oropeza.
Oropeza throwing up the high guard there. If you're on the bottom, if you're in Dominic Waters' position, you're looking
armbar attempt by Oropeza, slam by Dominic Waters. He gets out of it.
And sometimes the slam tightens up the submission. Sometimes that happens.
Not in this case. He got out. He was rewarded with an escape from that armbar attempt. He needs to be careful, though. Oropeza is just clamoring for a limb or a choke or something down there on bottom.
Yeah, he's throwing up the high guard a lot. He's got a closed guard, then he opens it up. See, and he brings it all the way up, and he's setting up triangles or arm bars.
He swiveled his hips to the side. He's got another armbar and another slam by Dominic Waters.
Wow. Sure enough, he's working, and he's
another armbar. Gets out of it again, this time without needing to slam him. Wow, very aggressive armbar attempts by Oropeza. You think Waters would get wise to it, being able to he needs to be able to defend from that.
He's slamming down Oropeza like a chef at an IHOP doing pancakes.
You see, Oropeza has the left arm of Waters trapped with his right arm. That's how you keep your opponent down and keep his posture down. And also gives you a chance to get your legs up on top, go for triangles, arm bars, and other kinds of submissions.
You might want to try a triangle. So far, he's gone for the armbar a few times, and he's been slammed. And then Dominic Show Enough Waters has gotten out.
Referee Larry Landless breaking the action. If you are not active enough on the ground, a referee will stop it, put you back up in the center of the cage.
Yes, one of the best in the business, the platinum blonde mohawk Larry Landless.
You can't miss him.
Yeah, great guy.
Back on the feet, Dominic Waters circling. Oropeza with the combo and ending with a kick.
Oropeza looked like he had good hands in the opening part of the round when he threw that left hook and caught Waters. There's a shot then right there by Waters.
And again, Oropeza initially defends it really well. Waters stays relentless on it, not giving up on those legs, and again, rewarded with a takedown. Now they're up against the cage. Much harder to move your hips around and go for submissions when you're up against the cage. You're kind of crammed a little bit, can't quite move as well.
So if you're Dominic Show Enough Waters, you may very well be looking to try to free yourself and walk up and stand.
Well, yes. Well, Waters is on top, and he's the guy right now that wants to land some ground and pound, wants to make some space.
Correct. Right, saying for Oropeza, he may want to walk the cage and get out of this.
Yeah, and Waters is now in a better position. He's not in the guard anymore. Obviously, the very dangerous guard of Oropeza. 3 submission attempts, 2 of them very close. Now Waters can land that ground and pound.
Not too mindful of the up kick is Waters.
In a weird position here.
Just over a minute and a half left in the opening round.
You can see how much more effective Dominic Waters is when he's hovering above Oropeza as opposed to being inside of his guard. That's where he needs to be. He needs to take this fight out of the guard of Oropeza.
Yeah, that left arm of Waters being
some elbows
trapped, and he's trying to free it and make Oropeza pay for it.
Now we're seeing an active Dominic Waters on top. We're starting to see some strikes now. See, once he's able to posture up, he can literally land some damage.
Yeah, it seems like if he doesn't make Oropeza react, Oropeza's going to act, and that act is going to be submission attempt. And sooner or later, that many arm bars get close, you're going to catch it.
Man, these right hands are starting to add up on Oropeza.
And that's what he needs to do. He needs to start putting some of that investment in the bank right here while he still has time to do it. 40 seconds left. Opening round, Oropeza against Dominic "Show-Nuff" Waters.
See how he's walking against the cage? It's how he's able to turn his hips.
And now he's free.
And that's how you get into those armbar situations. And exactly like you said. Now he's no longer seeing another armbar attempt coming.
They're going to take Waters into deep waters.
Is he going to get slammed again? Is he going to get it?
15 seconds on the clock.
No, he's in a triangle attempt. His triangle armbar and another slam. 3 huge slams for Dominic Waters here in the first round of our main event.
Waters may get out of the round. 3 seconds.
Wow, that is a tight triangle. Not enough time to finish it. Dominic Waters probably saved by the bell there. That was a very tight triangle to close out round number 1 of a great main event.
Yeah, add to the list of AC Slater and Screech, Dominic Waters saved by the bell.
Yeah, Oropeza fantastic with that guard and those submission attempts. Dominic Waters, again, his takedowns are getting stopped at first, but he's staying relentless with it. He's not giving up. Every young wrestler should know it's chain wrestling. If they stop your first move, move on to second, third, and fourth. And here's one of several slams by Dominic Waters in getting out of the armbar attempts of Oropeza. What a fun way to get out of a submission.
Absolutely. And you said, when we mentioned before, that there's a risk. Sometimes the slam will get you out. Sometimes it will tighten up the submission even more.
Yeah, luckily for Waters, he got out.
Second round of action between Waters in the blue tape, black trunks with gold trim and the Marine logo on the back leg. The black with red and the white trim.
And again, another takedown for Dominic Waters.
Oropeza, now once again working from the bottom where he's been made to be comfortable.
Right now he's going to get the back here. He's in the turtle position. Now rolling back to his back, where he's been semi-effective so far. A lot of attacking submissions.
Other than the takedowns, RJ, Waters had made Oropeza fight the fight off of his back, but I don't know that Oropeza is losing the fight from his back.
He's not. I mean, he's been very close to finishing this fight multiple times. We'll see how the judges score it. Did they count the takedowns in the ground and pound or the very close submission attempts? It all depends on how the judges decide to score it.
3 5-minute rounds scheduled. This is the second, just 1 minute in. And Waters now going to work for more of that ground and pound, as you mentioned, from the guard, the very dangerous guard of Rigoberto Oropeza, who, by the way, declared himself technique-wise a striker.
Well, we haven't seen it, or Waters isn't letting him use that technique at all. Relentless with the takedowns. Now he's just about past the guard. The Oropeza, very, very active guard, very efficient at keeping Waters more or less at bay and getting close to submissions. But like I said, judges like to rule the takedowns, that who's on top, who's landing ground and pound. If I'm Oropeza, I cannot bank that my submission attempts are winning me rounds. He really wants to finish one of those. Otherwise, Dominic Waters is going to keep taking him down, staying on top, ground and pounding, and most likely winning the judges' favor.
Oropeza, incidentally, out of his 5 wins, 2 of them are by KO. The other 2 are by submission. So he's been able to finish fights that way before. The undefeated Waters defending that all KOs. So having to fight the fight on the ground interesting because he's been putting it there, yet he has 3 KO victories in 3 fights.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny how maybe he knows of the stand-up prowess of Oropeza, or he's been working on his takedowns and his ground and pound. He wants to use it. I mean, these guys are both relatively young in their careers. Another armbar attempt, and again, this time he just slips out of it. Oropeza lets go. As you start moving on to the later rounds, fighters start getting sweatier and sweatier, and they're more slippery. It makes it a lot harder to lock in arm bars, anything, or leg locks, anything where you have to grip onto a limb. Makes it much more difficult.
We just saw Waters move into side control, and then Oropeza recovered guard, which I think is where he wants to be, not just for the obvious disadvantage of being in side control of Waters, but also with the high guard he keeps throwing up. I think that's where he wants to be at.
Larry Landless says, all right, not enough action. We're standing back up. They'll be in the center of the cage, back to striking. We'll see if Dominic Waters gets another takedown here.
Halfway point of the round. Waters, black and gold trim, black with red trim and the red gloves.
Good leg kick by Oropeza.
That is Oropeza. A little bit more tentativeness now.
They're kind of sizing each other up. It's like, wait, we're standing. We haven't done this yet. What do we do?
Yeah, there's a level of respectable caution now being shown by both guys.
I mean, Oropeza, you think, would take advantage of this situation. He spent the last round and a half on his back, fighting off ground and pound, attempting submissions, and now he has an opportunity to showcase some striking, and he's been very tentative with it so far.
Yeah, he did a leg kick right there to the front leg of Waters, and that might be a good thing to do. You might stop him from shooting in as much if you can damage that front leg.
Absolutely, and if you can land a strike, it's going to make Waters a lot more tentative. But again, another double leg, another takedown. Now he's close to a triangle here, Oropeza. If he can get his left leg out from in between Waters' legs, he can get that triangle, and
he's just about to close up the triangle, but nope. Waters said
Waters
no way.
wise to it.
I've been to that party. I'd rather not be invited again. Just over a minute left in the round. One more round to go should they get through this one.
Now again, we've seen it before. When Waters' posture is low, his forehead's on the chest of Oropeza, he's not that effective. When he can get up and get his head up and get his shoulders off of Oropeza, that's when he can start landing his ground and pound.
I mean, partly, I think why we're seeing a little bit less activity ground and pound from Waters is that he knows as soon as he starts going on offense, that guard goes up over his shoulder blades and he's in trouble.
Yeah, and that'll keep you very tentative when you're fighting off submissions when you're on top of a guy.
30 seconds left. Waters, Oropeza, the main event tonight.
Nice way to nice push off.
Yeah, great push off. And they look a little bit tired here.
They do look tired here. I mean, it's been takedowns in wrestling, that part of mixed martial arts. Is some of the most tiring aspects of it. I mean, wrestling, there's a reason why college wrestling matches are only 7 minutes long, because you get tuckered out quick.
Some of the technical mixed martial arts jargon from R.J. Clifford, such as tuckered.
I like to keep it real. I'm a man of the people.
You are a man of the people.
All right, here's again another double leg by Dominic Waters getting back. The whole story of this fight has been Waters' takedowns and his ground and pound on top, and Oropeza throwing up submissions. He didn't really have to fight off as many submissions in this round. Good up kick, though. He can employ that a lot more. That's the one thing you got to watch out for when you're postured above and hovering above your opponent is those up kicks.
There was that jab from Waters. It seemed like that was something he ignored for a lot of the fight up until then. It seemed pretty crisp and pretty accurate. Like he could be doing that a lot and controlling a stand-up part of the fight too, but he's been content to shoot in and take this thing to the ground.
If I'm Oropeza's corner man or coach right now, I'm telling him, look, those takedowns are defendable. You're stopping the first shot, keep sprawling, don't let him get it again, and then open up with those hands. Open up with those hands. You're not getting the submissions you want. You didn't have as many attempts in the second round as you did the first. Let's go for the knockout. You're down probably 2 rounds to none.
See in the corner of Dominic Waters, some other people that we've seen before, Sean the Destroyer Loeffler, giving him some high energy coaching advice. Third round. Dominic showing up for Waters.
Overhand right.
The black with gold trim, the blue tape gloves, and then the red tape gloves and red trim on the shorts. Rigberto, however, Oropeza.
Waters, I think, probably heard the advice I was giving Oropeza. He's the one opening up the striking right now. Oropeza, you're right, Ron. He looks pretty tired here.
Yeah, and again, I mentioned Waters doing into the striking battle because of that jab seemed pretty cryptic. He looked comfortable on his striking game. For whatever reason, he's just completely ignored it.
And that's the first takedown by Waters Oropeza has been able to successfully defend. And it looks like it's going to be the only one for now. Waters back on top in the guard of Rigoberto Oropeza. Now you're thinking submission right now if you're Oropeza. You are behind. You need to end this fight. You've gotten close so many times. You got to start working, man. You got to get active.
Yeah, it's not a good time to be getting tired if you're Oropeza because he's got a couple of attempts under his belt. He came close to submissions a few times. He needs to keep trying it. It's not necessarily failing. It just hasn't quite closed the show. And to be honest, that's the hand he's being dealt by Waters. He's being dealt, you're on your back, fight from here.
Yeah, Waters is controlling where the fight goes, and that's the advantage wrestlers have. They can control where the fight goes. Do I want to stand with the guy? Do I want to push him against the cage? Do I want to be on the ground? They make that decision. Waters has controlled this fight from start to finish outside of those submission attempts, which he's successfully defended each and every time.
And to that I say, Shona.
I love nicknames. You see the personality of fighters. And here we go.
Yep.
Here we go. Another armbar attempt by Oropeza. He slides out. Instead of a slam, he slides out. Oropeza trying to transition to a triangle, not able to.
Well, Dominic Waters, if nothing else, an escape artist. He has not allowed Oropeza to get any of the submissions to completion.
And they've been close. I mean, they've been really close. We've seen some very extended arms. And that last
just like
triangle.
This one.
We got something going here. Nope, nothing
and
here.
Again, Waters slides out.
Waters staying just active enough so Larry Landless, the referee, does not start him back up again. I mean, he's staying just active enough. I mean, he's landing some strikes. He's passing guard, doing enough so that the referee says, okay, you're still working in this position. I'm going to let you stay down here.
Yeah, and for Waters, why not? He brought the fight here. He's controlling most of what's going on, just the submission attempts by Oropeza. And again, the question is, how savvy are the judges? I think Gene LaBelle's one of the judges here tonight. That also, he knows grappling, so Oropeza will probably be getting just due as far as points go for that.
And there's another up kick by Oropeza. Really the only striking offense we've seen out of him for the most part today.
Yeah, an underutilized tool, I think, sometimes in American mixed martial arts. A lot of the fighters out of Korea, big on the up kicks.
They love their taekwondo.
Yeah,
kicks that come with it.
And they can do it off the back, they will. Under 2 minutes left in the final round of our main event here at Bamma USA. Dominic Waters.
And there it is.
Top right there. Oropeza on the bottom. Larry Landless in the beautiful golden standing him up.
I think that thing can be seen from the space shuttle.
Yeah, if you go on Google Earth right now, you can probably see Larry Landless.
All right, Rigoberto Oropeza, you have 1 minute and 23 seconds to finish this fight. You are behind in every single round. You need to get a knockout here in the next minute or so, or you are going to lose this fight. He needs to realize that. His corner needs to be screaming at him. Knock him out. We need to finish. Open those hands up. Get aggressive.
So you don't think the submission attempts in any round was enough for Oropeza to have stolen any round?
You don't see judges score it that way very often. It's very rare judges score submission attempts as high over ground and pound and takedowns. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know, but that's just the history of how judges generally score fights.
We saw a slip right there by Oropeza during a striking exchange. He ends up back on his back, almost wrapping up the fight in the bow now for Dominic Waters by putting himself on his back, where Waters has been putting him the whole night.
And Oropeza is content to let him do it. I mean, look, he's just holding both arms down. I don't see the point in trying to stall out for a stand-up here. We only have 25 seconds.
Orepeza's got under half of a minute to catch an arm or a triangle and finish Waters. Now 10 seconds left in the main event in the final round. Can Oropeza pull it off? Time is not his friend.
Looks like Dominic Waters, most likely a nip-tuck decision based on his takedowns, his ground and pound, and his ability to get out of those armbar attempts by Rigoberto Oropeza.
There's some good sportsmanship by two guys that have obviously earned each other's respect in this main event tonight.
Main event in the books.
So that's that third round down. We'll be back shortly with the decision and some of the highlights from round number 3. So go to the phone, I'm just kidding. Don't go to the phones. It's not that kind of show. Stay with us, though. The results, the third round highlights, next, right here from Bamma USA in Palm Springs. Welcome back to Palm Springs, California, here at Bamma USA. We are done with our main event. We're going to get the decision. Some tallying has taken place. Let's go down to the ring right now and get Marco Rodriguez to tell us.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we'll go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges score in favor, 30-27 for your winner, Dominic Shona Waters.
Karen Bryant is down in the cage right now with the winner.
Congratulations to you. I have a few questions. First and foremost, backstage before the fight, you told me you were a knockout artist. You spent the whole time taking him down and working on the ground. So what was your strategy going in?
I told you you're a double agent. So I wasn't about to divulge my wrestling mentality, but I got to give it up to him. Even though he didn't have the respect for me to stay in the cage and accept my win as a man, he was a pretty hard puncher. So, you know, so.
Yeah, you took him down a lot and you slammed him a lot, but did you feel like you were actually hurting him at all?
I did feel like I was hurting him. He grunted every time I slammed him on the ground. And you gotta admit, it was gorgeous when I did it.
Now, but it seemed like you were very susceptible, almost getting caught in triangles and arm bars repeatedly in each round. So what were your guys telling you in the corner between rounds? Because you kept coming out and kind of doing the same thing.
I'm not John Finch here, so I'm not advanced yet, but I will be one day. But the point is, I was not afraid of any of his submissions. So I'll let him get me in it, and I'll put on a highlight reel slam. That's just how I did it this time. I'm going to switch it up next time.
Thank you once again to Karen Bryant, an honorable man from an honorable service, one of our armed specialists defending our freedoms in our country every single day. And when somebody in the military is suspicious of Karen Bryant being a double agent, I'm going to have to pull her aside and talk to her. She has my phone number, and I think she knows where I live.
Let's take a look at the highlights of that action. The striking here, I mean, Oropeza, he had opportunities to go for that striking, but he didn't maximize it, and he didn't defend the takedowns like he should. He stopped the first shot of Waters, but not the second and third shot, and that eventually cost him all those takedowns.
Right, and Waters said that Oropeza hit hard, so maybe that was partly why, even though he had a good striking game, he didn't want to go to it. He does have a good wrestling base, obviously, and he went to that. And he said that the slams were both twerked a little bit torqued up for highlight reel capability. And they were really highlight reel friendly.
Well, we're seeing them right now. I mean, those slams really are fun to watch. I mean, I don't care if you've never seen a mixed martial arts fight before in your life. You love a good slam. One man lifting another man over his head and putting him through the canvas is sure fun to watch.
Whether you're watching mixed martial arts or America's Funniest Home Videos, the big slam of another human being can be quite entertaining.
It's absolutely entertaining. I mean, who didn't enjoy body slamming their younger brothers when they were a kid, or those little cousins? I mean, that's the funnest thing in the world to do.